as I was applying to drama school, I got scouted for a children's TV show, like a presenter, and I was like, ever the crafty person, one must go down this road.
Yeah.
And through that, I told them that I didn't want to be a TV presenter, I was an actress. And they introduced me to an agent. I walked in and I said, if I don't get the first job that you send me out on an audition for, you don't have to. But I was balls. The bravery of youth is so much your asset right now. You know, that kind of unwavering self-belief that only gets chipped away at as you get older and older and actually start to work. So I think that bravery really got me an agent, and was like, I just knew in my heart it was my path. And then I worked with a lecturer from Lambda, which is a drama school in the UK, and we just kind of went from there. But you know, I actually think that there's something about not having gone through the whole process of schooling that morphed my relationship with my work, with script, with dialogue from a different place. And I think when I was growing up in the UK and acting and I was working, I felt like an outsider, and I think that outsider side of myself meant that I pulled from a different place than you would if you had been trained into it.
Interesting, yeah.
So I almost felt it was, now I look back and I think that I did things in an odd way. You know, I kind of, interpreted script in my own way. I did things, and I think that was my unique selling point. I think with the way I look quite conventional. So the fact I was able to maybe add a little, like, what is she doing? A bit of oddity or whatever, it maybe helped. I make sure I learn the lines, back to front. When you can leave that at the door and really feel the truth, truth, and let that resonate in your eyes, and really just be in the moment and not have to think, about, I can't cold read. I'm too honest in my performances. Like I believe the moment so much that if I'm thinking of anything else, it's gone. I can't get away with it.
Yeah.
I have to go there. So I would say that people respond to the truth. And if you tell the truth, it shows in your eyes, it shows in your body. It's like your soul revealing itself. And that is so powerful. So I would say just learn your lines and don't have coffee. Don't have coffee.
Okay.
Because you get anxious before. This is my biggest, and I get so hyped, I get so excited, I get to perform, that I would over-rev myself. And it was perhaps,
a little distracting.
not as subtle as I would have liked.
Sure.
So I would say, as a tool, just well on the coffee.
Yeah.
The adrenaline will come when you get to the door. Well, first and foremost, you feel hugely indebted to them and their story. There's a real sense of responsibility. And the more I read about Laurie Luhn, and the more information I got to tackle with, it really just informed a whole side of things that I wasn't expecting. And I felt very protective of her. I felt very compelled by the pressure cooker environment she put herself in, be it the male environment she was working in, and this sense of trying to find a validation or trying to just be seen. And when a big power like Roger came along and saw her, it opened up her world in many ways and closed many doors in many ways. So I was just, off the page, she was incredibly compelling. And I had 6 hours of interview tape that Gabe Sherman, who wrote the book, gave me, and that was incredibly insightful. It's also well documented that she was quite uncomfortable about having her story told, as you would. It's not an easy story. And I was respectful of that, you know. I wanted to make sure that someone who went through what she went through wasn't going through a traumatic experience by me portraying her, you know, the actor with the ego that thinks they're gonna come to something, but it's someone else's life, I think.
Right.
You must remain respectful of that. I guess it's, if you get to a place of any type of freedom, and I don't have the freedom that a lot of other actors on your walls have, but I would say that it's important for, you know, the women coming into this industry, the young girls, the young guys, that you choose with the respect of character and like to play great characters and to give people great characters to watch, and the importance of seeking those out and the privilege it is to be able to play those. So do them justice.
No matter where you're at in your career, I feel like you can bring an integrity to what you're doing.
You could try, but also it's important to work, and when you work, you learn, and when you're given a bad script and it's terrible, you make it great. You know, it's a great, that is also a wonderful thing to remember, is that all those terrible jobs or terrible auditions, it's all tool to your craft, and it gives you a deeper well to draw from, and it perfects your craft because you have to work harder to make it better. You know, when you get good script, you're not even acting. You're just saying great words. It's like it actually gets easier. So I would say that now, for anyone reading Backstage and pursuing a career like this, that, you know, anything you do is gonna perfect your craft, and be it if you create with your friends, and we're in such an amazing age for actors to get their own content out there, and use it.